starting off with the juggernaut Disney and the film that they have releasing this weekend, and the film that is on Dustin's blockbuster or box office lisp, his box office draft. Captain America Brave New World has now had the biggest opening weekend for this specific year, 2025. And it ripped into the $40 million across Friday, which includes $12 million on Thursday. Now, that is coming out of 4,100 screens across the world. Now, that already clears the record holding $36 million debut for Dogman that came out last week, so we already went past that with Captain America Brave New World, and it also keeps the latest adventure and the fourth solo Cap movie on track for the 4-day opening weekend projections for about 90 to 95 million, though extended President's Day holiday frame, of course, is that 4-day weekend, but I also
Yes,
think it's going to go past that. I think it'll hit the $100 million
I think
mark.
so.
And it also means that Marvel Studios extends its unmatched run of all time, which is absolutely crazy. All 34 of its films have opened #1 at the box office,
That's
and nobody even wants to compare with it. It's
no.
kind of wild. Now, compared to other films in the Star Spangled series, Brave New World should debut higher than 2011's First Avenger, the first installment of the Captain America franchise. That one had a $65 million opening weekend. Now, this one is close to 2020 or 2014's Captain America Winter Soldier that had a $95 million opening, but far below the 2016 of Captain America Civil War. Of course, that is the biggest opening this franchise has had so far with $179 million. Now, Brave New World did cost more than $180 million to produce, plus its marketing costs. So, true success of the film will be measured about how it holds on to the #1 spot, if it does in these next couple weeks, because it definitely needs some strong word of mouth after landing some of the worst reviews for the MCU in its entirety, which is kind of crazy because there's so many bad films out there. There's a lot of good films, but there's so many bad films that people find the good in more than what they actually found in this film. Now, Dustin and myself have seen this film. Is it the best Marvel film of all time? No. Is it the best Captain America of all time? No. But I mean, they have some hurdles. You know, they had a lot of reshoots that they had to do, and you're bringing in a new Captain America, which tends to, have the audience question a couple of things when going to go see the movie. How is Anthony Mackie going to play Sam Wilson as the new Captain America? And overall, I think he did a pretty decent job. Is it the blockbuster bang, Marvel is back that I was hoping for? No, but it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
See, I didn't expect it. I didn't go into it wanting it to be the Marvel is back movie. I think that's for Daredevil. I think that was for Deadpool and Wolverine. This is exactly what it was supposed to be. This is a setup movie for the next Avengers. It's what it's always meant to be. And that's exactly what it did. It delivers on what it was supposed to deliver. It introduces the new Captain America and Falcon. It cleans up old storylines from the Hulk and the Eternals. And it kind of teases you, post-credit scene, for what's coming. It was never meant to be anything other than that. And for all these haters out there saying it's confusing or they don't well, then you should have fucking watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because all the questions that I've seen people asking or saying don't make sense were answered in the series. Duh. This was all set up. He became Captain America in that series. And if you had any questions about that, maybe you should just go back and watch the series. That's how that works.
Now, I am curious though, because you did put it on your box office draft. So if you thought about it like that, I mean, I'm curious to why you put that one over a Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four on your draft.
Well, Fantastic Four is on my draft too, I think.
It's not. It's on mine.
Because I think this is going to make enough money to where it's profitable. But it's still, I think this one is in line. If you see, it's an origin film basically for Sam's Captain America, right? It's in line. It's going to make more than the origin of Steve Rogers' Captain America. It is what it's supposed to be. I think that, people are comparing it to Civil War is ridiculous. Civil War was a mini Avengers movie. Plain and simple. And it made so much money on its opening weekend for one reason and one reason only. People wanted to see Spider-Man. It was the debut of Spider-Man in the MCU. That's why it made massive amounts of money over the other Captain America movies. There's no other reason why it did that. And I think this is just, if it underperforms, in my opinion, it's because of the hate culture that has been manifested since Scorsese said what he said. Everybody now is dumping on Marvel for no reason. It's what we do in this country, in my opinion, and I'm going to politicize here a little bit, but when something becomes successful, this country turns into tear it down mode. It makes no sense to me. This is the most successful film franchise in cinematic history. It's done what no other franchise has ever even come close to doing. Not Star Wars, not Jurassic World, none of them. This is by far the 17 years of consistent interwoven storytelling that's delivered. And you can't argue success. 34 number one films at the box office. Even when they open less than what they were supposed to or underperform overall, they still open at number one. Nobody will ever match that record. So you just need to get off the hate of the Marvel movies, guys. This is a long-term extended storyline situation as if you were reading comic books. So go back, watch the shit you missed, understand that they're laying groundwork for story points that are going to be 4 years from now, and just get on board and enjoy it. It's fun. This was fun. Red Hulk was fun. Watching the fight sequences, that battle scene over the Indian Ocean, it was fun. It's just good popcorn fun action. And I don't know. I just hate the hate. You know what I'm saying?
It does suck, and I completely agree. But I mean, it still goes with my theory that I don't think Marvel will ever recap the greatness that was the Infinity Saga ending with Endgame. Because I mean, since then we've had some good lukewarm movies that have come out since 2018, 2019, but it hasn't regained that popular success. And I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine is kind of like its own standalone thing because people have been waiting for that forever. But I am still worried about Marvel. I don't know what we're gonna see moving forward, or are we just gonna be here for all these lukewarm films until we finally come back to Avengers films?
Well,
I think just worried.
I think the Avengers Endgame thing, we had a middle phase where it kind of was, there was no climactic, oh my gosh moment, but it's been building to the next climactic, oh my gosh moment, which will be Secret Wars. We've got Avengers Doomsday, but that's kind of like Infinity War. And then Avengers Secret Wars will be the end game. This is where it's going to be stacked with every Marvel hero that in existence will be in the film. There's going to be a massive fight. It's going to be a massive payday. People will not survive it because it's going to be the collision of the multiverse into one planet. It will be the end game of this phase. But it had to get the buildup. That middle phase, without any climactic movies, with no Avengers movies, if you will, was just the bridge. And I think we will reclaim it with... There's no way Secret Wars doesn't match the success of Endgame, in my opinion. It's too big a storyline with too many heroes and too many results that will tear at people's hearts. Because like I said, people will not survive that. They've already said it. They've already said that when the multiverses crash and the one world exists, many of the people that we've become to know and love won't survive. They won't move forward in the MCU. So there's already tugging. So we'll see. I think we needed... I don't disagree with you. I think the middle set of movies with no Avengers movies was disappointing for a lot of people. But I think that you just had to have that forward vision and know that Secret Wars was coming. And I guess I have a little, because I know what Secret Wars is because of being a comic book geek. So I know the epic nature of what that film will be. So I'm excited. I just, I think it's going to be big. I don't know.